If you're over 60 and waking up with less drive, less sensation, and almost no interest in intimacy, it's not just aging. It could be something far more dangerous. Tiny clogged blood vessels in your penis, silently choking off circulation and slowly shutting down your manhood. Here's the truth. Pills can't fix what blocked veins are doing to you, but nature can, if you know where to look. I'm Dr. James, men's health specialist for over 30 years. I've helped thousands of men reverse the quiet decline no one talks about and reclaim the most intimate part of who they are. What if the solution isn't in your medicine cabinet, but in 4 forgotten herbs that unlock blood flow and restore sensitivity from the inside out? These herbs don't just improve circulation, they revive intimacy, energy, and confidence. Let's break down each one and reveal how older men are quietly transforming their lives naturally. Before we dive into these powerful herbs, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss another tip that could reignite your health, your energy, and yes, even your intimacy. If this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can better serve you. Now let's explore the 4 herbs your body has been quietly craving, the ones that could restore the blood flow, sensitivity, and confidence you thought were gone for good. 1. Ginseng, the ignition key for blood flow and desire. Let me tell you something I've learned after 30 years of listening to men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. Behind every quiet sigh of frustration, every moment of doubt in the bedroom, and every late-night search for answers, there's a deeper question. Am I still a man? You are. But when blood doesn't flow the way it used to, when sensation fades and desire grows distant, it's easy to forget that truth. That's where ginseng comes in, not as a miracle cure, but as a deeply rooted natural solution. Known in Eastern medicine as the man root, Panax ginseng has been used for over 2,000 years to rekindle the fire of male vitality, especially where it matters most: blood flow, desire, and endurance. But let's make one thing clear. This isn't just a supplement for energy. This is a circulation catalyst. In older men, ginseng helps relax and expand blood vessels, especially the small, delicate ones that support the pelvic region. These are the vessels that often become narrowed with age, limiting oxygen, sensation, and response. Most men don't realize this. They blame age or stress or even their partner. But in reality, their arteries are simply not delivering what they used to. Ginseng contains natural compounds called ginsenosides that stimulate nitric oxide production, a vital molecule your body uses to open up blood vessels and allow stronger, fuller flow. In other words, ginseng helps unclog the traffic jam in your veins, restoring healthy circulation not just to your heart and brain, but to the most intimate part of your body, the part that defines connection, masculinity, and confidence. I remember a man named Walter, 68, recently retired, married over 40 years. He came to me quietly embarrassed. He said, "Doc, I don't feel like I can connect with my wife anymore. It's like I'm still here, but part of me is gone." I started him on a high-quality Korean red ginseng extract, 600 milligrams in the morning. 3 weeks later, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "I feel like I woke up again. My mind, my body, my marriage, it's all lighter now." The transformation wasn't magic. It was blood flow. That's the power ginseng gives to aging men. It doesn't just enhance performance, it brings back presence, clarity, warmth, and the sense of being capable again. But not all ginseng is equal. You need a clinically tested, properly standardized form, not something you find at a gas station or buried in a multivitamin. Look for Korean red Panax ginseng, ideally standardized to at least 5% ginsenosides. Taken consistently, it supports cardiovascular health, fights fatigue, and most importantly, restores pelvic circulation that fuels intimacy. So if you've been feeling distant, dulled, or disconnected, ginseng may be your starting point. The ignition key your body needs to bring blood flow, confidence, and desire back online. And yet, ginseng is just the beginning. Because while it starts the engine, the next herb I'm about to show you keeps the fuel pumping directly to the place you need it most, and it targets the same enzyme that popular blue pills do, but naturally. Ready to find out what it is? If you're still here and this message resonated with you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me and that you believe your best years can still be ahead. 2. Horny goatweed. Not just a joke, a circulation secret. Most men laugh when they first hear the name. Horny goatweed? It sounds like a gimmick or something you'd find on a shady website, not in serious medical conversations. But I'll be honest with you, as a doctor who spent over 3 decades helping older men reclaim their health and confidence, this herb has quietly become one of the most effective tools I recommend for restoring circulation and sexual vitality. Its real name is epimedium, and its active ingredient is a powerful compound called icariin. This isn't folklore. This is science. Icariin works by inhibiting the PDE5 enzyme, the same enzyme targeted by medications like Viagra. But instead of forcing the body into short-term action with potential side effects, horny goat weed works with your body, gradually and gently restoring blood flow and sensitivity in a more natural rhythm. For men over 60, this is critical, because as we age, blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in the penis, begin to narrow, harden, and lose elasticity. That means even when the mind is willing, the body can't respond the way it once did. The signal between brain and body weakens, and with that, intimacy starts to feel like a struggle instead of a shared connection. I remember one patient, Glenn, age 72, proud man, worked construction for 45 years. He told me, "Doc, it's not about performance, it's about closeness. I just want to feel connected to my wife again, to feel like myself." I started him on a quality horny goatweed extract, standardized to at least 10% icariin, and told him to give it a month. At his follow-up, he said with quiet pride, "It wasn't sudden, but it was real, like the lights came back on." That's what this herb does. It doesn't create artificial heat, it restores natural blood flow, especially in the areas older men have forgotten how much they miss. The results are often subtle at first. Better morning stiffness, a warmer feeling of responsiveness, emotional reconnection, but over time, the shift becomes unmistakable. Horny goatweed also has a remarkable secondary effect. It gently boosts testosterone while lowering cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly kills desire. For men carrying the weight of retirement fears, health worries, or emotional distance, that hormonal balance is not just helpful, it's essential. If you're considering it, here's what matters. Use it daily in the right dose, around 250 to 500 milliliters of extract with at least 10% icariin. And don't expect overnight miracles. Expect something better. A gradual return to vitality, to warmth, to connection. This is how nature heals. Not in fireworks, but in the steady return of blood flow and self-worth. And for men who feel like they've quietly faded, this herb helps turn the volume back up on life. But here's the real surprise. While horny goatweed gets the blood moving again, the next herb takes things even further, reviving circulation at the microscopic level, deep in the smallest vessels where sensation and pleasure begin. Curious? You should be. If you're still watching and these insights are speaking to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're here, still listening, still learning, and still choosing to move forward. Now, let's continue with point number 4. 3. Ginkgo biloba, the forgotten flow booster. I'll be honest with you, when most older men hear the name ginkgo biloba, they think of memory. Maybe a brain supplement they tried once. But what they don't realize is that ginkgo's most powerful gift isn't just to the mind. It's to the blood vessels that feed both the brain and the body, especially the ones that quietly affect intimacy. And those blood vessels? They're the smallest, most delicate ones in your system. The ones in your brain, yes, but also the ones in your pelvis. The very vessels that determine whether blood can actually reach the tissues responsible for arousal, sensation, and connection. And sadly, these are also the vessels that are most vulnerable to age, plaque, and time. That's where ginkgo shines. This ancient herb, used for centuries in Eastern medicine, acts like a natural blood thinner and vessel opener. It improves something we call microcirculation, the ability for blood to reach the tiniest pathways in your body. When those pathways are blocked or narrowed, it doesn't matter how much desire you have. The response simply won't come. I've seen this in my practice more times than I can count. One man, 70 years old, ex-military, healthy on paper, came to me frustrated and confused. He wasn't overweight, his labs looked decent, but he said, "I just feel numb, like my body stopped talking to me." I started him on a clinical dose of ginkgo, about 120 milligrams twice a day, and we waited. By week 4, his energy improved. By week 6, he reported something more meaningful. "Doc," he said, "it's like I can feel again, not just physically, emotionally too." That's what circulation does. It doesn't just pump blood, it revives sensation, emotion, and confidence. And when you get that blood flowing again, your entire presence begins to change. How you walk, how you speak, how you connect with the one you love. Ginkgo also supports oxygen delivery to the tissues, reduces inflammation in aging vessels, and has even been shown to improve erectile function in men with circulation-related issues. No blue pill can do all that without side effects. Ginkgo does it gently, naturally, and over time. But consistency matters. Ginkgo isn't about instant results. It's about restoring the pathway so your body can respond again. Not artificially, but authentically. Think of it like opening forgotten roads that haven't seen traffic in years. With time and care, they come back to life. If you're someone who's lost sensation, if intimacy feels dull or disconnected, ginkgo might be the very herb your body's been missing. It doesn't force desire, it makes it possible again. That, to me, is more valuable than any prescription. And yet, the most fascinating part of this journey is still ahead. Because while ginkgo restores blood to the smallest vessels, the next herb I'll share with you actually revives hormone signals. The ones that tell your body it's still alive, still wanted, still capable. This one surprised even me. 4. Tribulus terrestris, the male rejuvenator. There's something deeply personal about a man's sense of vitality. It's not just about energy or performance, it's about identity. And when that energy fades, especially after 60, it can feel like a slow erasure of who you once were. I've had so many men sit in my office, their voices low, their eyes heavy, telling me the same thing in different words. I just don't feel like myself anymore. That's why I often turn to Tribulus terrestris, a humble herb with a powerful ability to restore what time and stress have slowly taken away. At its core, Tribulus is a natural hormonal activator. It doesn't flood your system with synthetic testosterone or disrupt your internal balance. Instead, it signals the body, specifically the pituitary gland, to increase luteinizing hormone, which in turn tells your testicles to boost natural testosterone production. And when testosterone rises naturally, everything else begins to shift. Blood flow improves, muscle tone sharpens, mood brightens, and intimacy doesn't feel like a distant memory. But what makes Tribulus truly special for older men is how it reawakens vascular tone. It strengthens the blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your pelvic region, improving circulation in ways that restore not just performance, but presence. That slow, sluggish feeling, the lack of sensation, the loss of warmth and responsiveness in intimate moments, that's often a direct result of poor blood flow and hormonal decline, and Tribulus works on both fronts. I think of one man I worked with, Richard, a 74-year-old widower who had just begun a new relationship. He told me I didn't think I'd ever feel that spark again. I thought those days were gone. We started with a moderate dose of Tribulus, 500 milligrams daily, standardized to 45% saponins. Over the course of 6 weeks, he came back a different man, not younger, but more alive. He said, "It's like I'm here again, all of me." Tribulus isn't a shortcut. It's not a drug. It's a nudge, a reminder to your body that it still knows how to be strong, responsive, and engaged. When used consistently, it enhances libido, supports erectile function, and increases stamina, all while promoting better mood and motivation. It also supports heart function and circulation, making it a full-body solution for men who want to feel more grounded, more capable, and more intimate. And perhaps most importantly, it restores a sense of hope. Because once your hormones begin to return to balance and blood starts flowing freely again, your mind follows. You don't just feel better physically, you begin to feel more connected, more emotionally present, more confident in your skin. For men who've spent too long quietly suffering, Tribulus can be a turning point. It reminds you that you're not done. You're not broken. You're not past your prime. You just needed the right support. And now you found it. And now that you've seen how each of these 4 herbs work in their own powerful way, one opens the vessels, one fuels the engine, one clears the path, and one restores the signal, it's time we bring it all together. Because the real transformation happens when they work in harmony. Conclusion: you're not done. You're just getting started. If you've stayed with me this far, then you already understand something that far too many older men have forgotten. That intimacy, strength, and connection don't have an expiration date. They don't vanish at 60 or retire at 70. They fade slowly only when we stop giving our bodies what they truly need to thrive. We've talked today about 4 remarkable herbs: ginseng, horny goatweed, ginkgo biloba, and tribulus terrestris. Each of them plays a unique and powerful role in supporting your health as a man, not just physically, but emotionally and intimately. These herbs don't mask the symptoms like a quick-fix drug. They nourish the system, restore blood flow, reawaken sensitivity, and support the very hormones that fuel your vitality. What I want you to take away is this: your body isn't failing you. It's asking for support. It's been whispering for years, trying to tell you that circulation is slowing, hormones are shifting, and certain signals aren't reaching where they used to. These herbs offer answers, not hype, not miracles, but real time-tested tools that speak the same language as your body. I've seen men in their 60s who thought their best days were behind them, men in their 70s who had quietly given up on connection, and men in their 80s who were simply waiting out the clock. But when they began addressing the core issue, blood flow, hormonal balance, and emotional reconnection, something beautiful happened. They came back to life. Not in a dramatic, flashy way, but in a steady, quiet confidence. They started walking taller, smiling more, reaching for their partner's hand again, feeling present and proud in their own skin. I say this not as someone trying to inspire false hope, but as a doctor who's walked this road with hundreds of men just like you. Aging is real. Slowing down is normal, but disappearing, feeling invisible, losing that fire inside, that is not your destiny. Nature has given us powerful allies. Science has validated them. And your body is still capable of responding, if you'll give it the chance. Maybe it starts with one change, one bottle, one conversation with your partner, one step toward believing that this chapter of your life doesn't have to be dull or silent or disconnected. It can be rich, close, warm, and real. You're not done. You're not broken. You're just being called to remember the strength, the sensitivity, and the life that still lives within you. So if this message spoke to you, if something stirred inside you today, don't let it fade. Take action. Stay curious. Talk to your doctor, and above all, listen to your body, because it's still speaking, and it still wants to live. If this message meant something to you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button to let others know they're not alone. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another life-changing health tip made just for men like you. And in the comments, type "I'm not done" if you're ready to reclaim your strength, your connection, and your confidence, one step at a time.